This is Chamber Calls. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, CEO and president of the Black Business Chamber, where we are the next generation of entrepreneurs in Las Vegas. Today on Chamber Calls, we'll shine a light on one of those businesses. Folks, the real estate market in Las Vegas is doing this. It's up, it's down, it's sideways, especially due to this COVID pandemic. We wanted to bring on a real estate expert in Las Vegas who can talk to us a little bit about the real estate market, and we want you to get to know her. We've got a realtor from, her name is Sonja Hanna, and she's been in Vegas for a little bit. Sonja, how are you doing today?
Oh, I am awesome. Thanks for having me, Sherman.
Oh, fantastic. So Sonja, I think, and we were all looking at your Facebook page and finding out what you're doing, because I know if I want to know about real estate, I've got to start connecting with some of these realtors. Right. Let's talk a little bit about you though first before we do any of that stuff. Let's tell everybody a little bit about you. So tell everybody, who is Sonja Hanna?
Well, I have been in Las Vegas over 20 years. I came here, started in commercial real estate development with my ex-husband. So that kind of introduced me to real estate. Although I have to be honest, I was kind of more interested in residential. So many people miss that opportunity or haven't had the opportunity to buy a home. So that's where I focused my efforts, and I got my residential license, and I've been selling homes one family at a time. Let's own some real estate in Las Vegas. Yeah. I had a bakery actually in Henderson.
Did you really?
Years. I did.
So what was the name of your bakery?
Dipsticks Bakery.
Dipsticks.
Everything was small and in a jar and easy to eat. Peach cobblers and banana pudding, all of it.
Yummy. The food that I cannot eat because I will keep eating it. Good stuff.
Well, I no longer make it like I used to, because trust me, those pounds aren't easy to get rid of.
Oh my goodness. Yes, but I bet. So you started. So what was the real estate market like when you first got into it here in Las Vegas?
Oh, I got in right when we were starting to come out of that economic downturn. So it was short sales and foreclosures. So I learned that real quick. And most of the time you want the easy transactions, but I did a lot of short sales and foreclosures. So I got really, really good at getting those transactions done in a quick amount of time.
Yeah, this couldn't have been easy. I mean, though it says short sale.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be a year. Some of them were just dragged out, but that was a different market. Even with what we're going through today, it's not the same type of downturn. Sales inventory is still low. It's not so much of a seller's market as it was before in the last year or so. Yeah. But you have to keep in mind that the inventory here, we still have a low inventory, 4,300 plus homes. I think that's what's on the market.
Wow.
And people are still moving. People are still moving from areas that are too expensive. I mean, if you can believe it, although us locals are shocked by how the prices have escalated, people coming from other states, they don't see it as high as we do.
That's the crazy part about it. See, I was a realtor. I didn't tell you this, but I was a realtor years ago, back in 84 is when I was a realtor. And I remember you could buy, and I'm old school Vegas. So old school Vegas, you could buy 5 acres for like $20,000 with a house on it, 6-bedroom home. So that's my mentality.
Right.
And even folks who've not been here that long, we're used to lower prices.
Yes.
So the prices of homes have gone up.
Yes.
And we're going, oh my gosh, how are you spending that much money on a house? But people from California, you're saying not so much.
Exactly. And we are getting a lot of influx from California because they're cashing out and buying here and still putting money in the bank. Yeah. I mean, but when you look at our rental, I don't know, I'm sure you know this, you could come out here and rent for $700, have a nice home. And now average rent right now is $1,595.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
The last house I had was $1,400, and it was in Summerlin, 4-bedroom, 2-story, 3-car garage with a pool.
Well, it's because the inventory is low. Not a lot of people are putting their homes out. Not a lot of people. And then you have like Airbnb and people trying to make money the other way. So they're not really putting their houses out there for sale. They're trying to use it as income properties.
That's true. So talk to me a little bit about the market right now. So you're saying inventory is low right now. Prices are still, people are still buying. They're still feeling
People are
good
still
about it.
buying.
Yeah.
Banks are still offering low interest rates. I mean, there has been an impact on the market. They tend to stay on the market a little bit longer. I think the average days on the market have been over 90 days. So, you know, at one point last year, you were getting 5-6 offers on one unit. Now it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But lenders are still approving. People are still having to move. They're, you know, we still have the Raiders coming. So
That's true. That's right.
you know, we
Raiders
are going
coming.
to reopen. Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
So you have to think ahead and not right now. They have said that homes haven't depreciated. So, you know, they're not appreciating as fast as they were before, but they haven't taken a hit in equity. So the recession has not been a real estate impacted recession.
So isn't that funny? So when you're talking about the recession, are you talking about the COVID thing also?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just all COVID, and those people that have had to change their lifestyle have worked from home, but people are still working and still doing a lot of things, and they're still having to move. They're still having, you know, babies are still being born, and they're needing more space. I mean, life will still go on.
You said something very interesting. You said babies are still being born. I thought maybe I think this way, but I think in about another 9 months, you're going to see a baby boom, an explosion of
all
babies.
those Rona babies.
Rona babies. Oh, I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
They'll be there. They will be there.
Yes. And with growth, I mean, we've got enough room for growth.
Yeah, we do. And it's so with this whole coronavirus, and you having to change the way you're working on homes and selling homes and showing homes, kind of walk us through, what does that look like now? Because normally, I know when I was a realtor, it was really drive people around in cars, and it changed a little bit because now you're going more of a digital platform, but still there's still a lot of contact with buyers or sellers. How has the whole COVID thing changed the way you have to approach your business now?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that it's a great change because we're dealing with a different generation. Like you said, you were a realtor in 80s and 90s. I grew up in that old school where you want that contact and someone wants to sit in your car and they want to drive you around. Millennials, everything is online. They're good with pictures. Now we do virtual listings. Like they are okay with having the connection digitally, and then narrowing down their choices, and then going in and taking the next step with doing an offer or seeing the home personally. But it cuts down that whole, you know, point of having to shuffle around and go visit. It's all there. You can see it all online.
Isn't that funny? So you save a little gas that way.
That way too. And then you're interacting with your client. You know, they're on technology. They want another view of the home. I can go in and do a Zoom or a live feed and walk through the home with them while they're watching. So I think it's a great change because we have to go with the flow of technology, and the younger generation, this is not new to them. This is their life.
Yeah. So I guess on that, are you getting a lot more millennials that you're speaking with now? Because I know Vegas has a large aging, community, but do you have a lot more millennials that are actually buying? Because I was under the impression that millennials are really just not buying homes, that they're kind of, renting a lot. So
renting, and they don't want large. They're okay with condos and townhomes. And a lot of them, they have in their mind, they're going to share space with someone. They're not necessarily looking for big, but at the end of the day, when you're purchasing any type of property, having access to it online virtually eliminates you having to waste your time, and especially in 100-degree heat, going from property to property, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, millennials are a different animal altogether, but you know, they are willing to buy. They're just not willing to do as much as their parents were in terms of investing in the properties. But we got a lot of people, like I said, transitioning and relocating. So virtually is not really, if you aren't doing stuff virtually as a real estate agent here in Vegas, you're missing a huge opportunity.
Oh, I bet you. Yeah, because you've really got to roll with the punches and figure out where it's at.
Yeah.
Let's stick on millennials for just a minute. And I know you've got a busy day today, but I just want to get, so our folks really want to know, and they've got to know from an expert. So millennials, when they're buying now, is their price point still at the same place though? So I know we've got a lot of people who are, they're not as affluent. They don't have as much money as their parents did. But in your experience, are you seeing millennials going, yes, I still would like that $250,000 home as my starter home?
No. They're starting out a lot smaller.
Okay.
And rightfully so. They're coming out of, even a real estate hasn't really taken a hit in depreciation during this time. They're coming out of colleges, they're starting in their careers, and their careers are kind of, on hold right now. So for them, let's just face it, Vegas hasn't been a town where people have bought in. It's a transient town still. So getting those people to buy in and stay in Vegas, because everyone comes out and like, oh my God, yes, I love Vegas. I could party, have a good time. I want to live here until they live here.
Yes. Yeah. Then it's a little different. Sure.
Right. And then they get it for like 2-3 years and they're ready to transition. But, getting millennials to buy in to any property and stay put is a big, I haven't had a lot of them, but like I said, when I've helped a couple and they purchased single family residences, not very big. They don't want all the responsibility, but buying into the $500,000 estates, not typically.
Not typically, huh? Great. Well, this is interesting. We'd love to come back to you and get your take on what happens post-COVID, because right now we're just coming out of this. It's going to be, I mean, a lot of people have just been kind of like this. Should I spend? Should I buy? Should I hold? Should I sell my home? Because we've got a lot of people who are right now going, I don't know what I want to do. I'd love to come back to you in a couple of weeks and say, hey, what have you seen? Because this is, I think we need to keep track of, especially as business owners. A lot of business owners are going to be looking at this going, okay, right now I know what's going on, but what's going to actually happen in the next couple of weeks?
Right. Well, real estate is one thing they aren't making more of. You aren't going to buy more. They're not creating more land. So the best time to buy real estate was 5 years ago. Yeah. I always tell people you can never fail. It's just making sure you get the right deal.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
But always have an asset. You should always have an asset that is yours, because you're basically paying your landlord's mortgage.
That is true.
And rent isn't doing anything but going up. Why shouldn't that be your mortgage that you can depend on paying and not having to wait the next year to see if it goes up?
I tell you, that should be like written in the sky, where people are, why are you doing, your landlord's paying his rent. Sonja, if people want to get a hold of you, because I know people, once they see this, they're going to say, I want to get a hold of her because she knows what she's talking about. How are people going to get a hold of you?
Well, I am with eXp Realty, and my number 702-265-0004, or my website, sonjasellslasvegashomes.com.
Sonja Sells Las Vegas Homes, folks. The real estate experts, folks. Sonja, we'd like to ask you back because I'd like to find out a little bit more what's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks, because now the governor's just opening up the state.
Yes.
We've got to find out. I know.
and people are coming. And so I'm excited and I appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead on to another appointment.
Alrighty.
And it was a pleasure talking to you, Sherman.
Nice talking to you too, Sonja. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye now. Thank you.